All right. Woo! We are back finally. I am R. Hunter Jr., the truth and not a rumor. This is the Surround Sound Podcast. On today's show, man, we got somebody I've been trying to get up here in the studio to interview for the longest, man. I'm sure you've seen his stuff all throughout the net. You've seen, you've seen all type of flyers, and you've seen all type of advertising. That's the word. Advertising everywhere as far as social media. I'm talking about. I couldn't believe it when just knowing him from the college days as a dude. We're both alumnus of Middle Tennessee State University, and I was just like, wow, like you really never know all the things, all the creative sides to different people. And the person that we have in the building today is Brad Sativa. What's going on, Brad?
What's up? How you doing, bro?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm really glad this phone is working out. That's what I'm really glad at, man.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man. Just to jump in it real quick, bro. Like, what made you get into comedy?
Yeah, man. It was like I always fought against it because I was a music guy first. But yeah, I just always use like making people laugh to get this and get that, whatever it is. I knew that was always the way to people's hearts. Cause everybody loved to laugh, and it eventually got to the point where people kept telling me, "Oh, you funny. You need to try this. You need to try it. You need to try it." I'm like, man, come on, man. Like that's different. Like we just talking in like conversation. You know me, and I just kept having that conversation, and it got to the point where I pretty much got peer pressured into it. I heard it enough where it's like, all right, well, I'm at least try it out and see how it feel. And if I feel like I can do it, I'll keep doing it. If not, I won't. And so I went to that open mic. And the open mic went good. I wasn't the best, I wasn't the worst, and that was enough.
Okay.
Let me know. It's like, oh, that's my first time. I'm right in the middle.
You got that adrenaline. You got you a couple of laughs.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, dig that, bro. Real quick. All the social media that you're on, and all the social media that you're on.
Okay, for sure. I am. My Instagram and Twitter has the same handle, which is at Brad_Sativa. And like I said, that's Twitter and Instagram, Brad_Sativa. On Facebook, my page is Brad Sativa BNA. And the spaces between each one of them. It's not no underscores and nothing, but Brad Sativa BNA. BNA is for Nashville, so it's Brad Sativa Nashville. It also has a double meaning because Sativa BNA, that's where I do my hats, my shirts.
And where can they go? Where can people go and get those? Because I got to cop me some stuff.
Yeah, man. It's like I do them. The whole thing is that I do it at shows mostly hand to hand, but which is weird. But also at Sativa _BNA on Instagram. That's where I post it. You can actually see like what I got and what I do, because I take the hats on the road with me, and people buy the hats, and I take pictures and I post from all over the country with people wearing, like, just because they thought I was funny, or they love weed, or thought the vibe was right. All kinds of various reasons, but people been supporting the brand, and I've been able to sell, like, just like I said, no big online push, been able to sell over 700 in a year, and so
it's dope.
Yeah, we pushing just hand in hand.
Okay, you have an album coming out. Oh, but your album is already out.
It's already out, yeah.
What's the name of it, and where can people go to get that?
Yeah, it's Brad Sativa, and the album is Petty. It's on iTunes right now. You can just get on Apple Music. You can just type in Brad Sativa, it'll pop up. It's 14 tracks. They're various sizes. Some are like 7-8 minutes long. Some are a minute long. You never know. But altogether, it's 54 minutes, so it's worth all your time. I just wanted to do something different. I want to push.
That's old school for real. Like doing a comedy album. I don't think of course the original cast to do the comedy albums. You know, Bill Cosby, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, and then I think the last comedy album that I personally purchased was from like the '90s with Chris Rock, Robin. Not Robin Williams. Robin Harris. Yeah, Baby Kids.
That was the first album I ever heard.
Really?
That was Robin Harris was the first actual comedy album I ever heard. It was on CD. It was in the 90s.
Yeah.
That's one. Yeah, that was like he's like back in like if you actually search me like that's one of the I put it they like sound like which I didn't want to say I sounded like nobody but he was one of the first he literally was the first comedy album so that was an inspiration and then Robin Harris I'm definitely familiar with that that's literally the first comedy album I ever heard and then because the whole thing is like I was mentioned earlier about me being a music guy like I love music. Like I'm not a huge comedy fan. It's just like I don't have a lot of like comedy history, comedy knowledge. I don't have
really.
Yeah, I don't.
Wow.
Yeah,
we got to wrap after this then, cause dude, I promise it's a wealth of comedy history, man. That just is super dope. But go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, I ain't saying like I know some stuff, but it's like but I don't like the people who I grew up with. It's kind of like the same. Like I grew up on Def Jam comedy, like everybody else. I ain't saying it like that, but it's like a certain point where people past a certain time. I don't have like a lot of favorite comics. Like only reason I even know about a lot of comics who are active now, and not saying it in a disrespectful way, but it's kind of like when I started. When I started doing comedy, I typed in the last comic that I really liked a lot, which is Dave Chappelle. And that's what I did. I started the whole thing. I'll be 4 years in the comedy next month. It's like towards the end of next month. And so when I started getting into comedy, I typed in Dave Chappelle. And I typed it into Pandora. So it gave me Dave Chappelle Radio. That's when I found out like Jim, like what's his name? John McElhaney. I found out about Louis C.K. I didn't even know who Louis C.K. was.
That's an irony there because it's funny how people clamor for Dave Chappelle now, but he didn't go the usual quote unquote black route. He wasn't a Comic View initial.
He did Def Comedy.
Yeah, but not the initial, early stuff. He came and did it later. But it's an evolution to black comedy. It's just an evolution period.
I'm glad that you're already speaking about that. Because that's kind of where my aim and where my fit in is that. It's like I'm a comic. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm black. I know I'm a black man. I identify and proud to be a black man. But I don't do no comedy. I'm not gonna do. If you expecting me to do Def Jam comedy, you ain't like I'm not your one. You gotta come and see. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love that shit too. I grew up on like everybody else.
Yeah.
But if you want to see, like, I'm gonna sit there and chop it up with you. Yeah, we gonna have fun. But I'm not. Yeah, that's what. I'm gonna do stuff about my experience. If your experience is that, if that's your experience, that's your experience. I ain't gonna take that from anybody. But like I said, I'm 4 years in. I did my album. The reason why I did my album is not because I think I'm big time and none of this. It's because I want to stop telling them jokes. I want to get rid of those jokes because I know it's a time to take it to the next spot. And you know what I'm saying? So like I don't want to get caught up telling these same jokes 5-10 years. You know what I'm saying? Trying to push the same jokes. Well, ain't nothing wrong with comedy. You getting your money, you got kids. Like, do what you do, get your money. Right. But me, I'm not gonna be the same one telling the same set for 10 years. You know,
it definitely has an expiration date on it.
Yeah, some these comic view comics out here, like, they still telling the same jokes, and I ain't knocking it. They paying for their bills.
That's right.
That's what's first. But it's like also if they not on TV all the time, and it's like that's the difference though. It's like you gotta, and I know it's race involved in that too, but push.
That's real. All right, man. On today's show, of course, as we've mentioned, and as you can see, we have Brad Sativa on. We're gonna talk about NFL football. We're gonna talk about college football. You got a couple of championship rings, right? We were coming in. You got a couple of high school championship rings.
Some high school shit.
Hey, championship ring. I ain't got now, but you got a couple championship rings, so it's especially dope. So we're gonna talk about football. Kyler Murray. He could literally be the only person to ever be drafted in the first round in baseball and in football. We're going to see how likely that is. Of course, we're going to talk about the playoffs and NFC and AFC championships. who can beat the Patriots? The Patriots is the topic of my Sign of the Times, which is really odd because usually I'm talking about like something really, really like important. And I just want to know, I just had to do a dissertation Sunday on the freaking Patriots and why are they so good. Anyway, also, what's your favorite cheeseburger?
Mine?
Yes, what is your favorite cheeseburger? Well, let me say
it's between it's between Gabby's and Rosie's Twin Keys.
Okay. Let me say this. We gonna talk about some real like fast food cheeseburgers, like Wendy's, Burger King, McDonald's, because that was what was at the White House on this past on yesterday as far as Clemson went. That the shutdown is really affecting the workers in the White House. That is definitely one to be remembered right there. What else we gonna talk about? Going to talk about a little bit of basketball. Of course, the Memphis Grizzlies are in the building. When can we expect LeBron back? NCAA action and all that also, man. Make sure you stick with us. You're going to download the show from the iHeartRadio app or iTunes. And just search Surround Sound Podcast. You can also follow us on Instagram and like us on Facebook.com/Surround Sound Podcast. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Peace.